What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Claudio, owner of WinRate Consulting, host of the Big Stud Podcast, and I am not a business broker, and this is not financial advice. Okay, I've learned enough to know I got to tell you that because you're going to come back to me later and tell me, no, this is not financial advice. It's just, should you sell your business or not? There's a lot of variables to that. There's some things and best practices to know and some steps that I would suggest you take if it's something you're looking at. Honestly, unless you're saying, I guarantee you want to do this forever, you should be analyzing what needs to happen in your business to make it as valuable as possible. Like, that's just the bottom line, because the more valuable you make it, the more you're going to make from it, right? So if you look at what a business broker or a potential buyer looks at is, how well is it systemized? How well is it documented? How well is the reporting? How consistent are profits? How consistent is growth? Like, you should be looking at doing things like that anyway, because that just makes it more valuable, which makes you more money. So if you don't know what it would take to make your business more valuable, I would highly suggest engaging with a business broker or getting a third-party evaluation of, okay, what is the current value and what are some things I could be doing to make it more valuable? Because this is where, like, chasing the dollar but not building structure, consistency, SOPs, job descriptions, those kinds of things is actually what makes your business more valuable and a multiplier than just big revenues and profits. Because a buyer of a business wants to know they're buying something that can run without you as the owner. So if you can't prove that, the value of your business actually severely decreases. So my opinion would be, if you think at some point in the next 5 to 10 years or shorter, you think you might want to sell your business, I would meet with somebody right now to understand, what do you need to implement, create, do to get the highest value for your business? We'll say the highest multiplier, because what they do to figure out what a business should sell for is they take profits and they give it a multiplier, anywhere from 2 to 20. Multiplier of net profits. Like, oh man, I'm gonna get 15 times net profits. I did $100,000. That's $1.5 million. No, that's not what I'm saying. Because if you don't have a certain amount of foundational things in place, your business can't sell. So understand that. There is a certain minimum level of things that need to be in place for your business to sell. I am not a business broker. I am not a financial advisor. My opinion would be, go talk to a business broker. I have one that I recommend that has had really good success with some people that I've brought him in to help. I'm happy to connect you to him. If you want to reach out to me, I can give you his information. But ultimately, the first thing you should do is talk to somebody right now about, what do you need to do to make your business more valuable from a multiplier perspective? Because once the multiplier is there, then when you increase revenue and profits, it matters. If the multiplier isn't there, the baseline foundation isn't there, as much revenue as you want isn't going to matter. You're never going to get there, right? Should you sell your business? I think most people actually should not. If I look at most business owners, unless you have a very clear plan on what you would do next, I don't think you should sell your business. Because if you've been doing the same thing, you've been going to the same thing, hustling through the same thing, grinding through the same thing, passionate about the same thing for, let's say, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, like, it's no longer yours. You can't show up, you can't have an opinion, you can't be engaged, you can't decide who gets fired or hired or what changes happen. You're out. You go from being the primary inside person to not involved at all. And I think that messes with a lot of people. I think a lot of business owners, without a very clear next step or plan of what they would do, I think that really messes with their heads. I think it creates anxiety, depression, frustration, anger, a feeling of being lost, and ultimately not knowing what to do next. So first off, should you sell your business? If you don't know exactly what you would do next, like, I don't care if I'm going to take a year off and go travel Europe, but, like, you should understand what you're going to be passionate about next, because people need to be on a mission. People need to have a drive to do something bigger and better than themselves. And so if you don't have that, I think you're going to struggle. That's my opinion. I've seen it happen a lot. But if you do, if you're like, hey, I want to do this, or I want to start this other business, or I want to do this other thing, or I want to chase this different passion, or whatever it is, cool. So should you sell your business? One, are you prepared to get the most value for it? I've already kind of reviewed that. If you don't know, things like SOPs, reporting, financials, job descriptions. Right now, my opinion, if you can't take a month off of work and the business runs without you, you're not prepared to sell your business. Understanding what your ideal buyer looks like, right? If they want to be an owner operator, they're interested in coming in and being a part of the day-to-day production. If they're more of a investor or somebody that just wants to own it but wants it to run on its own, understand who your ideal buyer is. So there's two sides: owner, operator, investor. Those are the two types of buyers that are out there. You have to figure out, who's your ideal buyer so you can build it specifically. But in general, my opinion would be, if your business is not set up to run without you for 4 consecutive weeks, it's probably not in a position to get the highest multiplier. Could it sell? Yes. Is it the best that it could be? Probably not. So like the highest multiplier would be you don't have to be in your business for it to run. That way somebody can put money in, they will pay more for it because they will make more with less effort. But ultimately, again, I'll go back to, isn't that the type of business you want anyway? Like, don't you want to go on vacation? Like, I have 2 clients right now that are taking their first family vacation in over 6 years because of the things we've done together to build some structure, consistency, understanding of what needs to be done, how, when, and why. That's important. Like, if you can't take a vacation, you didn't build a business. You built a really high-paying job. Let's start there. Should you sell your business? I don't know. Do you even own a business or do you just own a job? Ooh, that one hurt somebody. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I get it. But so, what is it worth? Multiplier times profits is how you look. It's not like, oh, I did 1.5 million and it cost us 1.4. My business is worth 1.5 million. No, it's 100,000 times a multiplier, which maybe isn't worth selling. The other part I would look at is debt facility, right? How much debt does the business have? This is also part of understanding how efficient your business is running. If you're just inundated with leverage all over the place, just all this debt has been built up because that's what you need to run your business. Like you got your PPP, you got your idle, you got all the car loans, you got, line of credit that's maxed out. You're probably not running a very good business. You might have cash in the bank account, but if you're leveraged all over, it's not time to sell either. You need to get those things under control and understand, are you running your business profitably? That comes down to knowing your numbers. I've done a ton of videos on knowing your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, if you don't know costs and expenses and revenues and profits and rates of return and everything else, you don't know if your business is actually operating effectively. All that being said, should you or should you not? No one can actually answer for you. It's what have you built? What are you going to do next? How well does your business run without you? Because I bet right now you want to sell your business because you're stuck in the business. If you were able to move to on the business or out of the business and still collect that paycheck, I bet you wouldn't be as interested in selling it. So I would start there. Hire Mike Claudio in WinRate Consulting, and we'll help you get out of your business and then decide if you want to sell it or not. But if you're stuck in the day-to-day I wouldn't even start considering selling it because you just don't even know how good it could be working on or out of your business and still collecting that paycheck. There's a lot of variables there. My biggest suggestion would be talk to a business broker, maybe talk to more than one. Understand the dynamic of what the current status of your business is. Understand what you need to do to increase the value. Work yourself to on or out of the business. Take a vacation or 2, then decide whether or not it's time to sell that business or not. Because I believe most people would keep their business if they could keep their paycheck and get rid of a lot of the that they're dealing with on the day-to-day basis. If you don't know what you're going to do next and you don't know what to do now, I would say hire an outside consultant, whether that's a business coach like WinRate Consulting, a business broker, or somebody else to give you more of the reality of the situation because you're emotionally attached to it and that outside consultant won't be. So ultimately, you can make the best decision for you to continue to win fast and win often.